Watch the pose. Look at.
Yep.
Phoenix eyes.
And now we get the Bruce Lee flavor. Yeah, we're definitely talking Warrior Season 2, but also the Roger Jackson debacle. Let's do it.
We have breaking news.
This just in.
Sometimes when I do the news, I don't wear any pants.
It's true. Sometimes I don't wear any pants, but I do always wear a smile. What is good, Kung Fu Chronicle family? What is happening? How are you guys tonight, man? It's Friday, guys. Friday. Give some love to yourselves. Made it through this work week. Oh my goodness, man. How are you guys? See a couple people already in the chat. What is good? Yeah, man. Listen, a bunch to talk about. But yeah, you already see we're going in on not just season 1, but season 2 tonight. We got my man OG Ant, his son Danny, better known as Lone Wolf and Cub Kung Fu. They'll be joining me in a little bit. We'll be talking season 2 of Warrior tonight. Last week, you guys helped make the chat a success. We talked season 1, and that part 1, if you want to see, is up on the channel live. You can check that out at your leisure. But tonight we'll be talking season 2. But we're also going to talk about a little bit of martial arts news, as we usually do. But before I even get to big news, I'm going to talk about just quick things on the channel for everybody. And let me welcome people that are here. Say what's up. What's good, chat? Light us up. Light it up tonight. If you're in the chat, let me know you're here. Tell me who you are. Tell me if you're a first time, if you're first time in the chat talking to me, or if you've been on a live stream with me before. And yeah, let me know what's good. So Kung Fu Chronicles, as you know, and by the way, I got my Shogun of Harlem shirt on for good luck tonight. I am an OG super fan of The Last Dragon, one of my favorite movies. For those people that do not know, if this is your first time on the channel, you should know right now that the reason why I got into martial arts initially was not because of Bruce Lee, but because I saw Bruce Leroy on screen in stereo in 1985 when I was a super young kid. Well, not that young, but young enough. Saw Bruce Leroy on screen and Shogun of Harlem, two of them together. Who's Got the Glow? All that, man. So that's what kicked off my super interest in actually learning martial arts. Before that, I was just, a casual fan. I loved to watch movies. And fun fact, before that, yes, I knew who Bruce Lee was, but I hadn't really watched a Bruce Lee movie until then. Because if you watch the movie, and if you're, aware of the movie, or even if you're not aware of the movie, in the movie, Bruce Leroy, the character, Timok's character, gets to watch, or actually has some of the Bruce Lee movies replayed in the movie by his love interest. So when I saw that on screen, it got me interested in actually watching Bruce Lee movies. But that's a whole other story. Yeah, so there you go. A little quick history on me. But tonight, yeah, we're going to have some fun, guys. It's going to be fun. Get in the chat. Let me know what's good. Let me check some people that are already here. My guy, OG Ant, already in the building. What's good, my dude? What's good? What's good? There he is. There he is. Yeah, man. Let's keep lighting up the chat tonight. Listen, so things to be on the lookout for, guys, so that we got a lot coming up. Second part of my video with Tim, my series, I should say, with Tim Larkin, who is a self-defense specialist. This guy is no joke. He's the real deal. He was an ex-Navy SEAL and wrote a couple books. But one of my favorites, When Violence is the Answer. I'm going to refer to that when I talk about this Roger Jackson incident, as a matter of fact. But that book, it just changed my world as far as how to see things when it comes to teaching in the world of self-defense. So I'll just say that. But part 2 of my video is going to be dropping probably tomorrow. Got the last final touches of that video, but we'll be dropping that on the channel. If you like part 1, you're really going to love part 2. It's got a whole lot to say just about things in general, life in general, self-defense, of course. Also, though, I promise you, Mark Dacascos, yes, that interview, yes, you will see that in the next 2 weeks, I promise you. So it's coming. working on that as well. Man, you guys have been keeping me busy. So I love to deliver the content as long as you enjoy watching it. All right. But yeah, other than that, guys, you know, just like as people come into the chat tonight, we'll talk a little bit before we get to Warrior season 2. And let me know, by the way, in the chats, if you guys like season 2. I really loved or liked season 2. Yeah, but Warrior, the series in general. If you enjoy the series, have you seen the series? If you haven't, then you may want to take a pause and watch some of it because we are spoiling things. Just like I said last week, spoiler alert before we even go there. All right. But if you're a fan of the show tonight, you're going to enjoy yourself. All right. Cool. So let's talk a little bit about this crappy news or just news in general. If you've been living under a rock and didn't know about this, Raja Jackson, young man, young new MMA fighter, son of Rampage Jackson, got into I'm not even gonna call it an incident, more like a freaking debacle. This is just honestly not really a great thing. So I'll put this up with, listen, a little bit of a caveat here, guys. This is tough stuff to watch, and I'm not gonna play the whole video. So I'm just letting you know right now, but viewer discretion is advised a little bit as we watch a little bit of this, okay? And then we're going to comment. All right, so I'm going to stop the video right there because you can go and see the whole video for yourself online. All right, this thing was just all in my feed all week. A couple people asked me to talk about it a little bit. I know a lot of people have been talking about this. This incident happened last Sunday at a wrestling event in Sun Valley, California. So in Cali, where I am, this all went down with Raja Jackson and this guy, Psycho Stu, who Psycho Stu is a wrestler, but he's also an ex-vet. So he's not a WWE wrestler, a smaller scale, but he does wrestling now for a living. So I went ahead and was going to talk about the incident, but this video was so good that I figured might as well play a little bit of this video, and then from there we can talk about it, because they did such a good job of summarizing this thing that I probably don't need to do as much talking on it, and I don't want to spend too long on this incident, but I will share my thoughts on it because people have asked me to. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay. So yeah, this was the incident. Like I said, went down at this wrestling rink in a wrestling ring in Sun Valley. Sorry, I didn't even mean to show you all that, but it's
who is the son of UFC to its core. In the allegedly unscripted viral moment, Raja Jackson, who is the son of UFC great Quinton Rampage Jackson, climbed into the ring during a match in Sun Valley, California, and attacked Psycho Stu. He body slammed the bearded wrestler, then pummeled his face more than 20 times.
20 times, dude. So let me just tell you guys, when I first saw this video, I was like, okay, out of context looks crazy. I'm gonna give you the context very, very quickly. The slam happened. This event happened after there was an altercation behind the stage earlier in the day, where Raja goes and meets some of the other wrestlers, and Psycho Stu was one of the guys there. Psycho Stu comes up to Raja Jackson, is basically like, hey, you don't know me? And Raja Jackson's like, nah, I don't know you, man. Psycho Stu proceeds to go grab a beer can and smash it into Raja Jackson's head. Now, I will say that was some crap. Like, Psycho Stu didn't need to do that. And also Raja Jackson confirmed that the beer can wasn't a fake. So it wasn't a prop. It was a real beer can. But Raja Jackson was no worse for wear when it happened. It wasn't like he got knocked out, he didn't get blindsided. And you could tell, well, a little bit to me. I'll just preface this by saying that Psycho Stu is a wrestler, and thereby in the world, and even though it's not WWE, he's an entertainer by nature. Wrestlers that are on that side of the fence, when they trying to go pro, WWE, the E is for entertainment. He's a wrestler by trade, or an entertainer by trade, as well as a wrestler. Okay, they're not in the ring like UFC competitors who go in there to be like basically Hulk smash, no holds barred, and I'm swinging and I'm trying to knock you out. It's not the same. But anyway, that incident happened. So let the video proceed.
Apparently, to the point of unconsciousness. Psycho Stu, whose real name is Stuart Smith, is reportedly doing fine and recovering, but
Now that's key, because at first, when as soon as Raja comes in and slams Psycho Stu, pretty much Psycho Stu was out. And then after that, Raja proceeded to throw like 20 plus punches. Insanity. The dude's already out for the count. You're down for the count. Have to say that. But again, we'll give you more context.
damage to Raja Jackson's career is done. TMZ reports that cops were called to the scene on August 23rd, and the LAPD has launched a criminal investigation. So what the hell happened?
And that's the point. The criminal investigation is going to happen. If Psycho Stu wants to press charges, he's well within his rights. And to give it more context, after the incident behind the wrestling ring, where Raja came in to meet all these other wrestlers, Psycho Stu confronts him. You don't know me. All that happened. Supposedly after that, even confirmed by Raja, the beef was squashed, because at first Raja Jackson was pissed off, and he should have been. You just smashed a beer can into my head, bro. What the hell? What the helly, right? But after that, everybody kind of calmed things down that was there, and I'll show you some more because so you can see for yourselves.
Unplanned attack went down during a private wrestling event at Knox Pro Academy. It was apparently in retaliation to an altercation between the men earlier that day. Outside the venue, Stu had smashed a beer on Raja's head.
What, you don't know me?
Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, I think that's a
Now, even before the beer can incident happened, if you look at the vibe of the crowd here, again, entertainment. These guys do entertainment, meaning all the wrestlers. So, Raja's here just as he's there as a spectator, whatever. I guess he gets invited backstage, fine. But my dude, meaning Raja, you didn't know coming in that you were coming to basically this whole wrestling arena where they do entertainment. So even if they're backstage, they're there to kind of entertain, So I'm not condoning, again, Psycho Stu just smashing a beer bottle on a beer can on you. That seems extreme, but again, it's not UFC like Raja's used to.
It seemed to be setting up a storyline for the show. The two were later seen making amends on the live stream, but then things took a dark turn. And now social media videos have emerged showing Raja in a blood-stained white shirt and visibly seething with rage following the incident.
Pissed me off though, Andre.
Yeah, and that's really the last part of the context. So after this all happened, this is the aftermath. He's walking, he's talking to his manager, talking about how mad he was, and basically, it's all the whoop-de-whoop of, hey, people disrespect me, I'm tired of people playing with me and all this. But Raja already was apologized to by this guy, Psycho Stu, and his people were like, dude, we're good, sorry about that. Maybe Psycho Stu was a little inebriated before, probably, allegedly. I'm thinking that's probably what happened. So he's, feeling himself a little bit and, kind of wanted to make that whole spectacle, and that happened. So, and I could say by that account, if Raja had gone off at that point, I would have given him a little more leeway at that point, because I'd be pissed too. You smash a beer can into my head, and then I'm just probably going to lose it and see red at that point. But I'm not going to wait like an hour plus later, however long it was, to then go in the ring and say, oh, now I'm going to freaking get back at this guy. And by the way, all of Psycho Stu's friends told Raja, hey, listen, we're going to make this good by you. You come to the ring and we'll give you the signal, because there's videos of this where they tell him, hey, I'm going to give you a tap on your shoulder. That's when you know to come in. You do what you're going to do, but you get a receipt. And the receipt is basically your payback. But it meant a payback meaning like one shot. Like maybe you do a quick slap and you like pretend like you step on them and leave, but none of the guys in there ever thought that what happened would have happened. Like basically you saw the video, or that part that I played, where Raja just picks up Stu, throws him down, head first going into that canvas, which is not hard. There's some bounce, but dude was pretty much knocked out right away. And then you just lay away on the guy, like 20 plus hits. It's ridiculous. Raja is very lucky that Stu survived that, because you technically would be up on a charge of you'd be up on serious charges because you basically went ahead and were thinking about how you were going to get your revenge on this guy. So it's premeditated. It would have been premeditated murder had Stu had Psycho Stu not survived, but luckily he did. So
I understand that, but now they can't wake the up.
oh, and that's important too. This was right after this happened. His manager's telling him they couldn't wake up Stu. They couldn't wake him up afterwards. So they didn't know if the guy was brain dead. So at this point, if I'm Roger Jackson, I'm panicking, bro. And I know he's getting adrenaline's going. You're pumped up. You're mad, whatever. Still didn't let this thing go that you should have. But everything else is on Roger at this point.
My bad.
Wait, my dude just said my bad. You think? I mean, I don't want to make too much light of this, but like some of this is just crazy. And I get it. Raja's young. He's basically trying to live up to the legacy of his dad, Rampage Jackson, who's a huge UFC star in his day, had some amazing fights. But yeah, still, we got to do better, man. It's just, especially if you're in the UFC yourself, which Raja is, well, probably was, because his career is, in limbo. And I don't even know if the UFC's made like any huge announcement yet on the what happens next. But I would guess that it's nothing good.
I'll call you back later.
Raja reportedly tried to justify his actions, saying he was tired of motherfuckers playing with me and calling me bitch and that at the end of the day, I'm a stand up for my self. The wrestling organization Nox Pro condemned.
Yeah, you stand up for yourself, but you stand up, like I said, you stand up for yourself at the time, to me, when the incident happens, because that's when you're mad. Don't get smashed with a beer can and then let it go or not do anything at the time. And then Psycho Stu's people come and say, hey, listen, we don't want any problems from here. And you agree and you shake hands and you're all good. And then you flip back and come back and then you take revenge. Yeah, that's not how
Raja's behavior on Facebook, calling it selfish, irresponsible, and even heinous. Raja's dad, Quinton Rampage Jackson, echoed this sentiment, writing, I don't condone my son's actions at all.
And that's the other part. So now his dad's obviously going to get the heat because your son, basically everyone's looking at Rampage like, bro, what's up with your son? And of course, I'm not my son's keeper. He's not responsible for everything his son does, of course. But at the same time, your legacy's now in this spotlight that you don't need or want it to be. So nothing good has come of this after this all
Rampage Jackson, age 47, is a former UFC light heavyweight champion who went 38-14 in his career. But now with his son's out-of-control temper, his legacy could be in jeopardy.
Yeah, it could be. It's definitely in jeopardy. Listen, I'm going to wrap this up just by saying that, again, I didn't want to make too much of this and didn't want to go too long with this because I don't condone violence for violence sake. I'm not here promoting violence. I think, and that's why I brought up Tim Larkin earlier, because I'm a martial artist by foundation, traditionalist, and I'm a purist in the fact that I think martial arts are the main point of martial arts is to bring good in the world. It's to protect yourself mainly. It's not to be used for violence sake. So quoting Tim Larkin's book, When Violence is the Answer, he starts the book by saying, when violence is the answer, it's the only answer. When violence is the answer, it's the only answer. And that really means when you're pressed up against the corner or you're pressed up and your back's to the wall and you have no choice, then you have to, if it's your life or someone else's, we have an expression in Krav Maga, if it comes down between you and I and it's a violent situation, it's going to be me. Like that old Backstreet Boys song, it's going to be me. I'm going to be the one that's going to go home and you're going to be the one that's going to be laying on the ground. But that's in the case of self-defense. This isn't self-defense. This was not where you choose violence. This is overdone. This is, anger issues. This is, a lot of issues with Roger probably, and things that will probably come to light later. I don't condone this at all. I think Raja clearly made a very bad decision. And I'm gonna just say it, man. It's like, because this incident happened after Psycho Stew's people tried to make amends and even let Raja into the ring afterwards, say, hey, get your payback so that people can see it live, meaning on an entertainment level, and Raja goes and does this. It's just, to me, it's some sucker shit. It really is. That's some sucker shit. We got to do better, man. We got to do better, especially when you're in the limelight like Raja is. And again, you've got the legacy of your dad and everything. And of course, Raja wants to make it on his own. And now it's like, good luck with that. So yeah, man, that's all I want to say. I don't want to make it too big of a deal, but yeah, it really was. And a few people asked me to speak on this. I was going to make a video earlier in the week, and shout out to people like my guy OG Ann. I know you made a video on this, and a lot of people in martial arts in the martial arts sphere have talked about this. But yeah, I think it's one of those things that puts a black eye on the nature of or I should say, in the spirit of the arts, right? Because that's not what martial arts is about. So we don't use we use our powers for good, not for evil, so to speak. All right, guys. That being said, now we're moving on to what you all are here for, really. If you check the thumbnail, yeah, we're going to talk Raja. We did. But now we're also going to talk Warrior Season 2. Again, my guys, OG Ant and Danny in the building. We're going to talk Season 2. And just so you know, guys, again, live up the chat. I'm here all night until we're done talking Season 2. So let me know in the chat. I'll respond as I see the comments come up when I can. And what's up, Bernard? I see you in the building. What's good, my guy? Happy Friday. Happy Labor Day weekend. Hope you all are, I got some just cool plans. Y'all are chilling. Got your favorite beverage. I know I got one of mine. So we're going to relax and talk a little Warrior 2, guys. All right. So let's do this thing. All right. Let me get my guys up here. We can do this. All right, so Season 2 is to set the scene. Basically, this is, after, Assam gets back with the Hop Way. Okay. And when the things start in Season 2, Assam is all about the training now. He got beat, and in his mind is like, I'm not going to get beat again. I'm going to play the trailer a little bit so we can kind of set the tone here. Still got to talk about this tournament scene, tournament episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Before you get to where you were going,
they go like to Mexico or near the border. Oh yeah.
Secret war of yours, we're all gonna suffer for it.
No, Jing, you're gonna wish you had killed me.
There's always tomorrow.
Oh, and you know what? I forgot to mention Season 1, but they are established because there's a point in here when we start talking about Season 2 really quick. The Fong Hai are another Tong that are involved in Chinatown. Yes. The Fong Hai have a guy called Xing. Xing is played by Dustin Nguyen from the people will know from 21 Jump Street. Yeah, but even he was in Rapid Fire, one of your favorites. They filmed it in Chicago. Shout out to Chicago with Brandon Lee. So he's head of the Fong Hai. The Fong Hai get going because and they kind of form a partnership with the Long Z to help them against the Hop Way. And also in the end of Season 1, talking about Bill, it's shown how Bill starts to work with the Fong Hai as far as starting to collect gambling debts. So that's when you start seeing, that relationship happen, and you see the kind of, sneaky kind of character that the Zing character is. He's one of those guys that just is like doesn't care by any means necessary. I'm going to get what I'm going to get, and I don't give a shit about rules, regulations, and all that.
And he does a fantastic job of playing the role and directing some of the episodes.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so I'm gonna play a little bit more. Keep going.
You're gonna tear apart Chinatown. You need to stop this.
I don't work for you.
You and me. We also want to finish business as Sahm.
Yeah, so we already know that the sound was they set the tone that it's gonna be Assam and Leary, so you know that's happening. You got the teaser in the first season.
Yeah.
Any ideas?
Just the usual.
I want my enemies to be your enemies. I trusted you. And you used me.
This sort of violence cannot be tolerated. You don't know this town like I do. They're happy to die, as long as they take a few of us with them.
Watching this trailer, there's so much to talk about, man. This could be a 10-hour stream.
Yeah, but it won't be. Because we're gonna kind of like do cliff notes on this season and season 3.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about some of the highlights. But this is what you're talking about that we're gonna get to, because basically a riot has started because of what happens to the mayor being killed, and the Irish men go in looking for vengeance, and now this is when the Hopway and the Long Z come together and they fight alongside each other to protect the town. Yeah, and the nunchuck thing. Yeah. So this is me back in freaking 2020 when this came out. So excited to see season 2 finally after season 1 had wrapped, and expecting all this stuff. So right away they set the tone off, like I said, where Assam is more of a badass, because you see he's been training at this bar called the Barbary Coast, I think. And this young lady owns the bar, or she's a bartender there. I can't remember if she owns it or not. But Assam goes there and he fights for money, like just about every night. And he's in there just testing his skills. He's getting better and better and better. And to Ant's part earlier, he's also in Young Jun's ear a lot, saying, hey, dude, you should be the new leader. The old man doesn't have it anymore. And then on the flip side, you've got the Long Z, who are now headed by Mai Ling. Oh, yeah, we didn't even mention this. Mai Ling ends up killing her husband in the first season because it's shown all along that's like she's very, very good at manipulation, and at the politics side, that's her strong suit. That's her kung fu. She knows how to just like say the right things at the right time, get people working against each other at the right times, and like all of her machinations start coming to fruition. So in season 2,
Dragon Lady.
Yeah, she's the Dragon Lady. She's the head of the Long Z. She's got Leong by her side as the enforcer, and things are lining up the way she wants, but she's still on the outs with her brother. And there's a point now where she comes to terms with that, where she wants to have a relationship finally with the Sahm, but now he flips it and doesn't want it, because to Ant's point earlier, he remembers seeing her give the nod to go ahead and snap my neck, and he's like, dude, you had me killed. And she basically says, well, that was a mistake, so now I want to be, I want my brother back. And he's like, yeah, screw you at that point. So we'll start the conversation there with you guys for season 2. Like, when you jumped into season 2, what were your thoughts and what were you expecting and things like that?
Well, I wanted to continuation of the story, but I also wanted to see progression of the characters, because when we end the characters, we end them in a certain place, and not just Assam, but some of the ancillary characters. I wanted to know, what was going to happen with the mayor's wife, because she's an interesting character. Her and Assam developed this kind of secret relationship. They were seeing each other, and it ended with her telling him, this is never going to work, this is never going to go anywhere, so just like stay away, that whole thing. And so I wanted to know what was going to happen with her. I wanted to know what was going to happen. I was really interested in Atoi's storyline. Were they going to continue that? Were they going to keep that going? Because again, she's a fascinating character, and what I appreciated. So we basically have 3 main women in this show, right?
Yes.
1 white and 2 Chinese, and each one of them, they're all trying to assert their own sense of dominance and being, if you will, business owners and things of that nature. But yet all 3 of them have different approaches to how they're doing things. So as you alluded to already, Atoi's sister, I call her the Dragon Lady. She is Assam's sister. I'm sorry. She goes about asserting her dominance through manipulation, back deals, backstabbing, and tricking people and things of that nature. That's how she, including Leong, manipulating.
Yes.
You know, and he doesn't see it, which is why I was like, why you won't wake up. Atoi, I think she's the only one that's doing it the right way. She's making investments. She's working with people. She eventually gets an American partner, and they're doing deals. They're playing with real estate and building her wealth the right way while maintaining her brothel, right? And so she's the one that I admire the most. And then there's the mayor, the mayor's wife, who essentially inherits her business through the death of her father.
Right.
And she is forced to hire Chinese labor to keep the company afloat because she can't afford to pay Irish wages.
Right.
Which is very interesting. I was very interested going into season 2 where those storylines were going to go. And that's kind of where I was. I didn't like, but I understood why they did it, where they placed Assam at the very beginning, where he.
Oh, you didn't like it? Okay.
No, he was on the outs with the hopway. He was in this kind of foundry area. He was sharing his bed with another guy, so they worked off shifts off of each other.
Oh yeah, but that was the end of season 1 though.
Was that the end of season 1?
Yeah, that was end of season 1. Because in season 2 they start right away. He's already back.
He's already fighting.
Yeah, he's already back. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I like that. That part I liked. I like that a lot. I like that he's perfecting his craft. He's fighting all different kinds of guys. I thought that was pretty cool. I especially like some of the stories that were built in, especially that one where they went to Mexico and everything, and he fought all those different guys, including a Capoeira guy, and I thought that was all very dope. And him being brought back into the hopway was almost a like no duh, it was gonna happen kind of moment. And so season 2 was to me a season about moments, right? There were moments that I was just like I said, the Enter the Dragon moment, the fight with Leary moment. There's these moments, and you're just like, wow, you know. So I probably, season 1's my favorite. So season 1, season 2's dope. Season 2's dope. Don't get me wrong.
But you like
season 1 was my favorite because I like to see my heroes vulnerable and flawed, and because they're the hero, it's already an assumption that they're going to become great and win in the end. I like the journey,
right?
So yeah, but that's just, I'm sorry, please.
What about you, Cub? Yeah, go ahead.
That's okay. So for me, I would say I'm still having a tough time deciding which season my favorite was. But with regards to season 2, it was thick. As far as like to my dad's point about Atoi, Penelope, and Mai Ling, I would say that none of them had the quote unquote right way to get ahead, because each of them did something or was in charge of something that had some morally dubious components.
That's business.
Yeah,
that's business.
I would say the least of them was probably Penelope, but she's still putting Chinese through tough work conditions, and I feel like there was some questionable aspects to it, but I could tell that she was trying to make a difference, however she could. I was gonna.
No. Keep go ahead.
I think second lowest on the moral totem pole, if you will, is Atoi, because like Dad was saying, she was doing some pretty smart and good investing, but at the same time, and even she acknowledges this, he's exploiting her own people, especially women. These brothels.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, I can't condone that.
I want to say,
I like her character.
I'd like to say one other thing too.
Yeah, sure.
There's something that's happening in the backdrop of each season, right? So in the first season, it's really about the it's really more just setup. But in the second season, the backdrop is really the selling of opium.
Yeah,
right.
Opium is the backdrop of season 2, and then season 3 it's counterfeiting. Right?
Yes,
and so it's again. I'm gonna say it one more time, and then I'm gonna let you go, Quasi.
Yeah.
Fantastic writing.
Yes,
and to incorporate that. So we're talking about a market that they've created for opium, and there's opium, and then there's also the houses that they're using. So you have these houses that provide you with everything you need. There's prostitution, there's opium, there's gambling, and you can get all three. Especially, I think it's being provided by, I forget that gang, the gang with the writing on their face.
The Feng Hai.
Yep. They're the ones who actually provide. I believe they provide all three in their place, which is what Bill is working for.
Yes,
Atoi uses opium as medicinally.
Yeah,
she uses it medicinally, not really as, hey, this is an opium house. But like when,
but she still supplies it, because there's a point where we see Lee's character, he's using it for like past injuries and stuff like that.
Medicinally, that's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
She's not a dealer. She's using it to make you feel better. Right. Same thing with Assam. When Assam gets beat up, when Assam loses that fight, I believe she's blowing it in his face, right?
And she does help him. You're right. That's a good point.
She's using it medicinally. Whereas the, say their names one time.
Feng Hai.
The Feng Hai. They got the house that's.
The Feng Hai don't care. Yeah, right. That's what I was saying. Dustin Nguyen's characters is like, no, we're doing what we want when we want. There's no rules. You want opium, you got it. You want this, we got it.
And then Mai Ling is. She's trying to expand her territory and get it more. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Father June is getting his opium from China.
Yes, he is.
But because he's getting it from China, he's paying it he's paying a higher rate.
Right.
And I think one of the themes that's built into season 2 is that they are trying to figure out a way to circumvent China. So I think they're trying to get it from, I don't know, if they never say if they're African or Jamaican or whatever, but they're trying to get it from Happy Jack, who is the leader of the black gang.
Yeah, and that kind of comes into play in like season 3. But yes.
My least favorite part, by the way, of but he's established in season 2. But then in season 3, then they incorporate.
Right. In season 3, he's more. They
start talking, because what they're doing is they're giving him fake money.
Yeah, that's when the counterfeiting starts.
But in season 2, he's there. What they're trying to do with him is they not only are getting it at a cheaper rate, but they also are trying to get him to store it. And
that's what it is.
Store it. He doesn't have the facility to store it for them. So what happens is Assam. They are actually hiding the opium in the steel factory.
In Penelope's steel factory, yes.
What a bad move.
Right.
What
and
that was a terrible decision.
That was a bad move.
Oh, yeah.
Something else. Yeah, so keep going.
I just wanted to put a bow on it quickly, is that, again, it's not, you can't just have a show where everyone says, everyone just.
No.
You got to have these fantastic, this fabric of woven stories, and I'm telling you, if you haven't seen it, see it. It's fantastic.
It's on point writing. It's on point martial arts. It really is on point character development. And then one other point that I'm going to say, since you brought up Atoi and Lai, who Atoi takes under her wing, who is basically the slave girl that comes in, and instead of prostituting her, and this is Takav's point, like you can't condone, she's still using her people. Atoi is running a brothel, so she's got these women in the brothel, getting paid for sex. But
Mai's character comes in, who's this young girl, and she says instead of selling her off, I'm gonna bring her under my wing, have her help me in these kind of adventures. I want to say, quote unquote, for lack of a better word, right now, where her and Assam go at night. So it's almost like this Batman and Robin thing that's happening at night.
Wearing black.
Where, they're all hooded up and going in and wrecking shop. And I want to show like a scene from this just to kind of establish that as well.
Who the fuck are you? She's with me. Who the fuck are you? That's not important right now.
Woo! So like we alluded to when we're talking about the first season, Atoi is a swordsman. Like her best weapon is the sword, and she pretty much is that swords person that Bill and Lee are looking for. They just don't know it. But in season 2, you really see Atoi just go badassery. Yeah. And since Mai is like she's taking Mai under her wing, she shows Mai how to really use the sword, because Mai already has some skill, but Atoi starts to fine tune that skill. Yeah. So we see it. And Mai comes in and she's vicious with the sword as well. Or Lie, it's Lie, sorry, not Mai.
Lie.
Yeah, it's fantastic, man. This
Yeah, so there's basically I wanted to show that dynamic with these three. So there's also this other, like you're saying, all these little sub stories going on on top of the main things that are happening. Right. So I think it's just so well written and done, because of course you're seeing this amazing martial arts extravaganza while things in the town are still happening. The Chinese, the Immigration Act still going on. The mayor's still working his stuff. While at night, these guys are up here just like hacking people half to death or to death, beyond death. So yeah, that dynamic. And to your point, because we're going to speed through season 2 a little bit more, Young Jun and Assam become pretty much blood brothers at this point. They got each other's backs. They're each other's guys. And because Assam is so much in Young Jun's ear, there's a part that's being shown where that opium that you're talking about, they need to replace the opium because it gets blown up in the steel factory. Because Leary goes in, and Leary has a side romance with Penelope's sister. And during that time, the sister gives away the location of the factory because she feels hurt. To me, it was the weakest part of season 2 was the little sister arc. I wasn't vibing with it that much. But because she feels like slighted by the sister, she goes ahead and tells Leary, my sister's factory, there's only this many Chinese enforcers, basically, because Penelope hires Assam and his crew to protect the factory, since she's using those Chinese workers and she knows Leary isn't about that. But the sister gives up the fact that, at night there's a way to get in underground and you can bypass that, and they've only got a few workers there or a few people to enforce it. So you can totally just wipe out that factory if you want to at that point, which Leary does. Right. So once that opium's missing, Assam and Young Jun are in trouble, and they're like, what are we gonna do? The old man's gonna find out we fucked this up. So they decide, okay, we're gonna go make some money out in this tournament that happens in Mexico every year, that the head bartender of the Barbary Coast that Assam's training at tells them about. Yes. So that being said, you guys, we're gonna get into this tournament series, because this one, and is that the one that's called Enter the Dragon? Is that the one?
No.
Okay, that's not the one.
Dragon is the street fight with the Irish. Okay. Yeah.
But the tournament episode is like episode 6 from what I remember, and that one is just basically, because here's a side note as well. Every season has one out of city or out of kind of pocket episode, and this one is episode 6 is that one for season 2. Episode 1, they have one where Assam and Young Jun have to go off the reservation, so to speak, to bring this coffin with them and all that. There's a side story, but this is that off the reservation episode in season 2, and I thought it was masterful. You guys can give me your perspective on it as I pop up this next video with that part in
I'll
there.
let you go. I've been talking a lot.
No, go for it, guys.
So I was actually gonna try to address what you're asking here and what you were asking at the start for season 2.
Go for it. Yeah. Go for it.
So what I like about season 2 is that every fight leading up to the Enter the Dragon episode is a fight that Assam basically uses as sparring practice, because all of the fights leading up to Enter the Dragon are ones that he uses to not only improve himself, but to like hone his skills while he has a chip on his shoulder for what Mai Ling did to him towards the end of the first season.
Right.
So now he has a reason to get even stronger than he was before. And so you really get to see like just how far he pushes himself with the fights that are had throughout season 2. And I love to see that.
One thing I will say though quickly is that it is a little bit disappointing though, because what I had hoped to see didn't happen, which was I thought, okay, all of this training, all these fights that he has a gang of fights to prepare him to be this dude, right? And he comes into his own in that episode, Into the Dragon. And you're in my mind, in the back of my mind, I'm like, all of this is going to lead to him versus Leong. Right?
Oh, you thought they were going to have a rematch. Yeah. Oh, got it.
In the show, they never do. They have like a quick little skirmish.
Right.
They have like a quick little skirmish, like maybe 1 or 2. They happen really quickly, and it's not like to the death or anything. It always gets interrupted, and you're like, oh no, come on.
Yes. Yeah, you want the rematch.
And it never happens. And it is a little bit disappointing, but they still give you enough kung fu goodness throughout so that you're happy. Leong does get a couple of other people to fight against. I'm sure we're going to talk about that. So at least we get to still see Leong in action, but we never get to see him again fight Assam, which is what I wanted.
I
wanted a rematch. But
I think that speaks to the writing too, because as you see the evolutions of both characters, when they meet again, at least in season 3, when they meet, they're both in kind of different places. And my interpretation was, they could fight each other again, but they're really not all about that life at that point, because they've gone through so much separately. And then when they come together and Enter the Dragon, it's almost like, and we'll see, because we're going to talk about that, the little head nod from Leong, which is like, we got to protect our towns. Screw our differences right now.
Can we circle back to this though when we get to season 3? Because I feel like the writers tricked me. I thought that they were going to have another fight.
Not they were going to have another fight.
What happens at the very end? And I was like, oh my God, it's going to happen. And it didn't. Fair. So we'll circle back to that.
We'll circle back, because we'll definitely talk about that some more. Okay, so we're going to talk about this tournament episode, yes. But no, I feel you. And there was part of me that wanted to see it, especially as I'm watching. But then I realized, especially as season 2 wrapped up, like I said, they're both in different spaces and they're evolving in different ways. And it was almost, to me, almost no point to them fighting at that point, because to me, Assam had already reached that level where, he's going to kick ass, and Leong is, but you're right. It would have been like,
no, I just wanted to see it. It didn't have to be no reason. I just wanted to see it.
This tournament arc was pretty good for Assam, though, and his development.
This was amazing, because this basically reasserted Assam as, okay, he's still a badass, and now he's gotten even better. He's more confident, but he's also a little less braggadocious than he was in that first season. He's pulled back a little bit. He's still a smart ass, but he's like a lot more confident because he's honed his skill. He spent all this time that like, so to your point, OG Ant, from the first season, like you're telling the audience out there, is like, it's that old anecdote. It's like you fall off the horse. How do you get back up? Right. It's like, you know, like the famous Sylvester Stallone quote in Rocky. It's like, it's about winning. This is what winners do. It's about how hard you know, like you're able to get back up. It's not like you taking the hits. So in this one, you see after all of that kind of all that preparation that Assam he's coming to his own now. So
and this is when he's gonna fight I call the guy Leary Light, right?
Yeah. So this is when he fights the Michael Bisping character. Yeah, it's Michael Bisping from the UFC. Yeah, people will notice and recognize him right away. And by the way, during the series, because it really got like really highly acclaimed, they started using some more known fighters and people that people would know as guest stars. Shannon Lee even guest stars in one episode. So there's a lot of she was in season 3. We'll talk about that. You missed it, blink and you miss it. But yeah, she's in there. You guys weren't paying attention if you missed her. But all right, let's go further.
That fucking prize money, bad. So. What do you do? Don't lose.
That's good advice.
Okay, he's got the power, you use your speed. By that I mean finish him fast. You know, before he kills you.
And just so people know, the tone's kind of set. The Michael Bisping character comes into town when they all come into this Mexican town. Michael Bisping's like he's the brute dude. He comes in, he sees Assam and Young June, and he gives him, shoulder checks them, and he's kind of like, dude, you guys ain't nothing, and he dominates in his fights. And then Assam comes and he's like, all right, let's see what's up. So they've already kind of like set that up.
Fucking enjoy this.
Agree to disagree.
Ready? And fight!
One shot.
One shot.
Finished.
Yeah, so and then after that, we're just treated to like a martial arts extravaganza. It's the tournament episode, so all of these fighters are fighting for this prize money, and it's just amazing. Like you said, there's Capoeira shown, Wing Chun, Shaolin. It's just all of this, just cool fighting, and I love this episode. There is a fighter in here who I will like when he comes up. Assam fights him.
Oh yeah, Assam fights him. And that guy can fight too. That guy can. Yeah, this guy with the tiger style claw.
Yeah, he's got the
tiger style.
Not this guy. No,
this is not the guy you fight.
No,
he's a Chinese guy.
Right. It's about that guy. I don't know why I had it in my head that they were going to try to recruit him afterwards.
Yeah, they should have. You know what else I thought they were going to recruit? There's a scene. This is guy right here.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a guy who I think he's in season 2 also, who's a Shaolin monk. And there's just a scene where Mai Ling is walking through the street.
Oh, yeah, and he does the demo.
The Shaolin monk, Atoi is right there. It's a bunch of people there. And he's just doing a full-on display.
Mm-hmm. He does
and everyone's watching him. And I said, holy crap, this dude is a badass. I wonder if they're going to ask him, like, if he's going to, is he with the Hop Way or is he going to join the Long Z? I thought that guy was going to become a part of the show.
Yeah.
I was like, there's got to be a reason why they're showing him, and they didn't.
Nah, they didn't. He was just doing the demo.
Oh man, this guy is real dope.
This guy right here, this is, and we'll talk a little bit about him because
this is what I mean, and I'm gonna say it. I hope I don't get you in any trouble. This is not Quasi saying this. This is OG Ant saying it. Freddy's modern kung fu. Right?
Okay.
When I talk about it, I said it that when you look at certain people, you know this guy's got something. You know it. You see it. You go, this guy's got something. when I went to interview the man, I didn't see that. Right? I know this is a TV show, but look at that guy's expression for this quick 20 seconds that they showed of him. Did you not think, oh, I want to see more of that guy?
Yeah,
the guy that you just saw.
Absolutely.
Did you not say, oh, I want to see more of that guy?
Oh,
I can't wait to see him. And that's what I mean. I'm not trying to crap on anybody. I probably shouldn't have said it, but the
you said what you said. It's all good.
I said what I said. I'm gonna stand on it.
Stand on it.
Yeah. The point is, look at this guy.
Yeah,
you can
he's a badass.
You can tell, and this is what I mean. When someone's dope, they're dope, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at him. This guy's good, man. He's light on his feet.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that trick. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, that's sweet, man.
And I like Assam does a little wave. All right, I got you. That was dope.
Yeah, he caught him in the air.
But then he gets in close.
Yeah, he got
and
him.
see, that's always been Assam's strength. He's like, I get you in close, and I got you.
It's a beast.
Yeah.
The Capoeira guy.
Yeah, the Capoeira fight.
Yeah. This is very blood sporty.
This is very, very blood sport. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if you've ever seen,
or even better, is like very Into the Dragon. Yeah.
There's another Van Damme movie that he did.
The Quest. Yeah, The Quest.
And there was a lot of that too.
Yeah, The Quest. Yeah, and this is like, but this is their homage to Enter the Dragon, the whole tournament vibe, and so that happened. It's that off the reservation episode, and they go there for the prize money because the opium got blown up, so they got to make it for the cash. Right. And spoiler alert, Assam ends up winning. But other things ensue with this episode that we don't even really need to get into because there's a side story with the Sahm, also like having a little quick relationship with the bartender.
It's really hard to do a retrospective. As I'm looking at the clock, it's really hard to do a show like this and try to wrap it up because it's so complex. It's just so much tapestry, and I get it. I'm gonna start shortening my answers so that we can get through some of this stuff because I think it does deserve though full-throated introspection.
It does.
But it is difficult because of time constraints. So,
all right, yeah. So that tournament episode is just a badass homage. I loved it. You guys loved it too. There's some little things to talk about in here, some behind the scenes stuff that I got. So I talked about Brett Chan, who is the stunt coordinator for the show. He talked about how they developed some of the scenes. And I believe in this clip, I hope I get the right one here. People are talking about Warrior. It's not just the martial arts in it. It's the storyline. It's, it's a time period piece that's really almost like mirrors even things going on today. The political side, the structure, you got the Irish, you got Chinese coming in. All of this good drama and, the levels is what's always like complementing each other.
Characters are so rich. I mean, yeah, I know. And so then after that, Jonathan Tropper, he basically said, okay, Brett, you basically shoot all the action and all the drama within the action. So nice. I started doing more drama in the action, and so shooting all the second action directing, and then they gave me an episode season.
Right. And you got to direct an episode, right? I got like a little piece.
Wait, Shannon Lee in mine.
I was just about to say Shannon Lee's in the episode. So Shannon Lee, we jumped the gun a little bit on this, but we can talk about it right now. Shannon Lee is in I want to say, is that the kind of the off the reservation episode in season 3?
You don't look like Bruce Lee.
So she doesn't look like Bruce Lee. Is that what you said?
Don't look like her father.
No, don't cause no controversy with the Lee family tonight.
I love you, Shannon. If you want to come on the channel, I'm sorry.
Plus, I'm trying to have Shannon Lee on the show, so we love you, Shannon.
Right.
We're not saying Papa was a Rolling Stone, but
no.
Right.
She doesn't look like her father. I didn't say she was ugly. She's very beautiful. I'm
not
saying
look
like Bruce. That's what I'm saying.
You're saying she doesn't resemble Bruce as much? Okay.
No.
I'll give you that. But so I had Brett talk a little bit about the fight, and what I wanted to show you guys though was he talks about this. The reason why I brought that clip up was because he talks about this particular episode though, and the behind the scenes on putting together.
The Taekwondo, especially coming out down a little bit extreme, but it didn't matter because
it's different. I mean, it's we talked about styles and all the martial arts styles that he had trained in or whatever, but we talk about a little bit about this fight, and he gives me a little bit of background on the on the episode.
He's worked on Warrior with me, and I've taken him to Halo, taken him to different work on Warrior with me. This guy Jisuk Lee, who he's worked on Warrior with me, and
Jisuk Lee is the guy that you guys like. He's the kid that basically is doing all the tricking. So talking about like he found this guy and is like, dude, you're about to be in all my shows because you just can do things that I just can't even pull off myself. So
I've taken him to Halo, taken him to different shows. You saw Warrior season 2, episode 6,
the tournament episode.
There was one Korean guy in there.
Okay,
that does a gainer with a landing with a side kick to the guy's throat.
Right. That was him. So that's him, and so he got him in there, and that's it. But yeah, he's Korean. Yeah, and so he's Korean. Did taekwondo, did tricking, did all that type of stuff. So just so you guys know that. All right, so now we move on to get a little bit further into the season. We start wrapping it up because after that tournament episode, things start going awry. Father June is kind of like, "What's the deal with you guys?" He basically just has things come to a head. So Father June basically
books.
Yeah, he checks the books, sees stuff is amiss, and confronts the son and Assam. They come back, they think they got away with something because, hey, we got the money that we need. But the dad's like, nah, you guys are just plotting against me. This is crazy. I want you guys out of here. And there's a point where he turns to his guys and he's just like, you guys are done. But Young Jun kind of turns the tides and says, nah, like you're old and we're new. And so the loyalty you find out is actually with Young Jun because people side with him. And so the old man is kind of like cast aside, so to speak. They, even though Young Jun still loves his dad, he's just like, nah, dude, this is like, you're still set in the old ways. So this is the way we got to rock. And he gets the rest of the Hopway to roll with him. I thought that was... damn, that's crazy, but again, it's part of the development, it's part of the story. I thought it was strong, but a lot of that is because of that Assam influence. So, and then to your point, OG, I think that's also how people will start to see it, or as they're watching, could Assam be the head of the Hopway? Because even Chow starts to say, maybe this is really where your journey is leading. Right. Although, Assam is like, no, I'm not here for that. But it does look like he really is that leader type. Right. So you guys want to speak a little bit about this before we get into those final 2 episodes?
I'll be real quick.
Oh, I was gonna echo something you said to me while we were watching season 2.
Go for it.
It was about something that Atoi said that you were expanding on, which is that you said the guy who didn't want it, the guy who doesn't want it is the one who should have it. I remember you saying that.
Right. Yeah, I did say that the other day. I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that sometimes, the one who is so ambitious shouldn't get it because you have to question his motivation as to why he wants it.
Right.
And what he's willing to do to get it. Right.
Right.
Whereas the guy who doesn't want it probably should be the one who is fit to lead because they were willing to step aside for someone else. I dug that. But the only thing I want to say, I just want to say it quickly is the show had no place else to go. Right. Again, the son eventually will take over the reins. Take over the reins. On one of my favorite shows of all time is Yellowstone. Right?
Yeah, I love Yellowstone.
Oh yeah. And you could see Casey is ex-Navy SEAL. He's either him or Rip. You know what I'm saying? You're like, one of these guys is going to take over this ranch. Right? It's just gonna happen, and it's the same thing here. Young Jun is eventually going to run the show. Right? Good or bad. And his boys are gonna ride for him. And that's all I have to say about that. Because I'm being long-winded in my responses, but I will again. I'm waiting for us to get to Enter the Dragon. That episode.
Okay.
That's my cheese right there. That's the one.
Okay. Oh, this is what I wanted to do. Okay. So yeah, before we even get to Enter the Dragon, because that's where the season goes, before we kind of wrap that up, I wanted to because everybody has their moments and their good fights in season 2 and a lot more high energy fights and a lot happens. I got to give Leong his flowers in this season because him and Xing are always kind of going back and forth anyway, because like I said before, the Feng Hai they have no discipline, they have no rules. Right. So the Xing character just does as he pleases and says what he wants. He's a very blunt person. So finally, that in this season, Leong and Xing are finally going to fight, and they actually do. And that's one of my more favorite fights in season 2 as well. So I was like, I really like this one. Well, I'll tell you, is it my favorite? No, but I knew it was coming, and I liked it because I wanted to see Leong finally shut up Xing's character.
So I know that Dustin Nguyen, he knows martial arts.
He does.
In fact, I've even seen him do it in. I saw him do it in a few episodes of 21 Jump Street. Used to be one of my favorite shows. However, he is older now, and I actually was not impressed with their fight. Okay, I know they did the best they could with it. I think that the fight with Mark Dacascos and Leong, I thought that was a way better fight.
Oh no, but that's a higher tier fight because
that's what I mean. Yeah. It was an okay fight, him and Dustin going at it, but I don't know. It was all right. Swinging on.
Well, I'm gonna play just a little bit of it because we can talk a little bit about it as we play it, and I'll tell you why I like it a little bit more too.
I like the setup to get there. I like the again. What movie is that of Bruce Lee's where he dresses up like a telephone opera?
That's Fist of Fury.
Yeah, it kind of gave me a little bit of that vibe because I was laughing because I was watching Cuz's reaction. He didn't realize that was Leong.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't?
Sneaking in.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh, you didn't.
I'm trying to remember.
When he snuck in, he said, take the stuff in the back.
That's right.
And then I saw your reaction. You're like, oh, that was Leong?
That was a really good disguise. I was like...
And that was meant to be an homage to Fist of Fury, too.
That's what I thought.
Absolutely. They said they did that on purpose. But anyway, so this fight happens.
Ooh, that was interesting. This part I like.
Yeah. This is Leong just being a badass like he always is.
This is dope, right?
Oh.
Ooh. This part's dope. Oh! Human shield.
Leong. So, we're finally gonna find out who's better.
I never knew. I never wondered.
Yeah.
I never really wondered.
Love that line.
I guess you
never wondered. I know I'm better.
See, before this even starts, that's one of the main reasons I like this fight. Is it the best fight? Absolutely not. Does it show the most skill? No. But it has the best trash talking all season because Dustin Nguyen's character is just he's just blunt as hell.
And there's one thing that we left out was that what's the name of this gang?
Oh, the Feng Hai.
The Feng Hai are descendants of Attila the Hun.
Right.
The Mongols.
The Mongols.
Or at least
they believe themselves to be.
Yeah, they be.
So their whole look is very authentic and dope.
Right.
The writing on all of their faces, the fur that's incorporated into their costume. And their fighting style is less martial arts and more of that Hun barbaric. You know what I'm saying? That kind of
They're just
it's dope. It is dope, but I mean, again, I appreciate the fight. I appreciate the talking trash right here. Leading up to it.
I should tell you once I kill you.
Oh, this is cold.
I'll go and see Mai Ling.
Wow.
I'm gonna fuck her. Like she never been fucked.
Wow.
After that, I'll eat a fucking heart and piss in the hole.
Wow, what a
And
threat.
all because you didn't have the balls to say fuck you to my face.
Here it goes.
Fuck you.
Watch the pose. Look at.
Yep.
Unique style.
And now we get the Bruce Lee flavor. Yep.
Look at the dancing.
Yep. Now we get the homage to Bruce. And
you know what I think? You know what I
yeah.
think? Is I think that these guys are really good and that they watch each other's technique and they take I used to do the same thing. I used to watch other people and the people that I sparred with and fought with, and I would train myself to incorporate some of their stuff into my own fighting style. And this to me looks like Assam.
That's actually something I wanted to speak on.
Yeah.
I felt like throughout this show, even though we didn't get to see them finally end it once and for all between them, Assam and Leong make each other better fighters.
Yeah.
So like in their last fight, you see Assam adopt the breathing and the calmness that Leong
Leong
had. And in turn, Leong adopts that more Jeet Kune Do style that Assam has here.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's really cool to see how they inspired each other.
This looks like an Assam pose.
And they do it on purpose because again, this is an homage to that Bruce Lee style. It's that whole thing, even with the look and the adaptability. That's what's up. But that's a great point. That's a great point.
Elbow.
Be grateful for your pain. It means you're still alive.
I love that he's saying
that back at him.
He's saying it back to
saying
him.
that back at him. The line that Zing says to Mai Ling earlier, and she says the exact same thing. It's a great callback.
And she used the line too.
I'm mad at you.
Here you go.
And now the sword comes out.
And they caught him wielding it.
Yes, with the sword. And that's another reason why I wanted to show this fight, because that kind of not really wraps up, but it kind of puts a little bit of an end to the whole, to the swordsman. Who's the swordsman? So Bill conveniently finds a way. Oh, he's got a sword, so he must be the swordsman. And he ends up planning.
So Chow and Leong, their idea was to plant the sword. Plant the sword there as incriminating evidence to get Zing locked up for those crimes of the person who's going around killing everyone with the sword. So they plant it there, and then Chow tips off the cops to go. And so that's how this all comes together. It actually works out. It actually works out perfectly. But Zing's not stupid.
Yeah,
Zing knows.
Not stupid.
Zing knows that Chow did this to him because he
set him up
earlier.
And Bill was willing to accept that as evidence because Zing was giving everybody grief. And so
you changed your chair, you moved and everything, and so now you're out of the shot.
Oh, let's push you in. There we go. Push you back.
There you go. There you go.
But like I was saying, so Bill was willing to accept that as evidence because Zing was giving everybody grief. And to your point, Quasi, would you say this is the best choreographed fight? No, but no. I understand where you're coming from. This fight was really good in terms of like the emotions behind it, because Zing was a monster. He didn't care about anything or anybody except himself and his group. They were just running wild without any form of discipline. They needed to be stopped.
And what was that white liquid? What was that white liquid that everybody was drinking?
Like it was like goat's milk or something like that. Yeah, it was
thick.
Yeah, it was like goat's milk or something. And when to your point, in that point when Chow comes in, they once they figure out that it's a double cross, they sit him down and pour all this goat's milk in his mouth.
Yeah.
And Chow actually gets a moment to shine a little and kicks a little bit of butt, because we see he's no slouch. He's not a martial artist in the show, but he can fight.
He's got weapons. He's got the sliding guns that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that whole portion was great. But yeah, that was my point with this. The trash talking, all that. It was like, Zing needed to be stopped, and this is the way they stopped him, because he was the loose cannon of the group. So I thought it was appropriate that Leong was the one to take him down, and he got a taste of his own medicine. It was his humility medicine, right? Because he thought, I'm gonna come in and whoop this dude's ass, and Leong's like, yeah, nah, dude. And then it was a great line. He's like, I always wondered who's the best, and Leong's like, I never wondered. He was like, and it was almost like that nod to like, you're no Assam. So it's like, I know how to, like, you can do a little something, but you can't do anything on my level.
You know what's interesting too? Zing and Assam never have a scene together.
Nope. That's true. That's right.
That's interesting.
I will say.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just gonna say one other cool part about this fight is that for the audience, we're rewarded because we really like Richard, and after seeing Zing beat up on Richard the way that he did, it was nice to see him finally get what was coming to him.
Oh yeah, Lee's character. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you like him a lot. Yeah, that's true. Yes, absolutely. All right, so now we're gonna get to the ending of the season 2. So like Anna said, there's this whole subplot going on with the mayor, and the mayor basically sees like his wife just, she constantly is in his way and just like hiring these Chinese workers. She doesn't want to kowtow to him, so she takes over her dad's business instead of just being the wife at home that he wants her to be. And it finally culminates to this big old clash at the end where he ends up basically losing it and like tries to strangle her to death. And then Penelope's her servant, butler, whatever you want to call him, comes from behind and saves her life. Sticks a poker in him, but now of course he's got to flee, he's got to get out. So they cover their tracks, and the sister also gets knocked out. So, when everyone comes to, they call the cops, and they, basically try to cover things up. But there's, like panic in the streets. Everybody's trying to find Jacob. Jacob, I think, is the name Jacob. Of the butler or the servant or whatever. So everybody tries to find him. Jacob tries to get out of the country, and he thinks Chow's going to help him, but he kind of ends up getting sold out. And then finally they find Jacob, and unfortunately,
this is why Chow is my least favorite character on the show. If you
is he?
Oh yeah, okay. Chow, Buckley, and the mayor.
Yes,
and the sister. Those are the four.
Sister was a wasted plot to me. I was like, you didn't need the sister, but anyway.
And then the gentleman who was behind everything in the end of season 3. Those are like my villain of the show. I don't consider. I don't consider Leary a villain.
Yeah, he's more the anti-hero.
He's doing villainous things, but
but he's doing things for his people. Right.
I got a major problem with Chow, bro. I don't like people. I don't like flip floppers. You supplying weapons to both sides?
People who
like, bro.
But wait, but you got. We'll get to it in season 3. But it's established that Chow's a survivor. That's the train of thought he's coming from. He's a survivor. He was a former slave, and he's found the way to kind of get ahead is to kind of make whatever works going to work. I think he's more on the side of his people, but at times if he can make a deal that's going to further him along, then he does that as a point of surviving. But it's also established too that he has a daughter. So he does a lot of things.
That storyline goes nowhere. It was pointless. I think it was meant to humanize him because it didn't ultimately serve a purpose. It didn't do anything. it didn't humanize him. To me, it didn't. I still, the marks on his back humanized him more than him having a daughter,
because he was a former slave, right?
Yeah, but man, at the end of the day, I didn't like him, and I won't say it right now, but how things work out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? To be fair, they established kind of the connection almost with the Nelly character then, who ends up with Atoi later on. We didn't really talk about that, but this lady Nelly comes in, who, by the way, is based off of a real person in history. She has a like a vineyard on the outskirts, the wine vineyard on the outskirts of the city, where she takes in all of these young girls that were former slaves and they became prostitutes, and she takes them out there to rehabilitate and all this stuff. So she ends up connecting with that. And it's in Sonoma. So she ends up connecting with that Toy, and as part of that, since the connection is made, she meets with Chow, and Chow makes a deal with her to get his daughter out of harm's way, and like out of the reaches of the mom, who's basically she's just all over the place. So Chow does that, but yeah, I get your point. Like a lot of stuff that Chow does is questionable.
I feel I was just gonna say, I feel like as a person, Chow is on the lower end of the spectrum with like the worst characters in this show. Buckley, the mayor.
He's not as bad as Buckley. I'm gonna say
no. He's not those guys. He's not Zing. He's not Buckley. He's not. But that's just me. I have a problem with people who try to ride the fence. Right.
Okay.
Pick a side.
Right. So as a person,
or either pick a side or stay out of it altogether.
Right. But again, you got to put yourself in the mindset of someone in this period of time. The 1870s is like, they don't, as the Chinese, and I'm not trying to make excuses. They're not on the same bar as the Irish and all these other white folks. So again, to me, Chow's that guy that's just trying to not only make ends meet, but trying to get ahead and finding ways to do that, where some things might be considered, you really want to do that, but at his point, he's like, dude, I'm a survivor.
He's necessary. He's necessary for the show, and some of the things that he says are, again, smartly written. The things that he says, like he tells Lee, sometimes you do good, sometimes you do bad, sometimes you kill, sometimes you don't want to kill. Maybe you shouldn't wear it.
And he's got good repartee with Assam. They have a lot of great back and forth. I love it.
But I'm just saying, personally, as a character, as far as characters, because there's some, you can't love everybody on the show.
No, you don't.
And so he's one of my least favorite. Like I have these characters in my mind who this is how I always do. Would I hang with that person? So Leong, yes. Assam, yes. Atoi, yes. Young Jun, no.
No?
No.
Young Jun's another one where
he just wants to get sticky. Just get sticky. I want to get sticky.
I think if you put that aside, Young Jun, he can be a good friend, but he's a terrible leader.
No. He's not a great leader.
And with regard to Chow, he is as a person not on the up and up, but as a character, I would actually say he's one of the top ones on the basis that you never know what he's going to say or do next. Right. He's a wild card, and it's always entertaining to see in terms of like what he'll do.
Right.
He knows how to relate to almost every faction in the show. In certain ways, basically he's almost like the backdoor dude when you need weapons, when you need
the guy in prison. He's the guy threats and get you.
He's the guy to go to when you need.
I never liked those guys. Any show that I ever watched, the prison dude who can get you stuff, I almost never liked those guys.
But they, like to your point, they are necessary.
It's going to cost you 6 boxes of cigarettes.
He serves that purpose. Yeah. All right. So let's get to this last battle. So after this, or not last battle, but this fight that ensues, Riot, basically. Because after Jacob is killed, it's just like pandemonium in the streets, right? So like the Irish people are going into Chinatown. It's just a melee. And I'm going to put this up so we can watch it.
Right there.
Oh, and at some point we got to talk about Hung.
And he just does that. Just that right there.
A quick,
I didn't even talk about Hong, and we should talk about him just for a second because Hong is recruited in the second season. Hong's got his own character arc, but he basically becomes the third leg of the Assam Young June connection, and they add him into the fray because he comes off the boat fresh. And, you know, as a subplot, he is gay, which is not a big deal, but he is also kind of one of those wild card guys, and he fights with like a whip chain kind of weapon. So he's got his it's a cool fighting style. It's very cool. And so he comes into play with these guys. But when they all finally get together, and this is that head nod from Leong, like, hey, we're rivals, but right now the city's burning. We gotta fight in this battle together. So that's the tone.
Hey. That's so funny. Hong's like, hey,
what's up?
They don't even talk.
He's like, I don't even know you. Oh,
yeah.
What's up? I'll say one thing for Young June.
Yeah,
as the leader, at least he's out front.
Oh, dude, but that also speaks to his character because he likes to scrap.
Well, the leader should be first, and it's very what's the movie with Mel Gibson, the Irish Scottish
Braveheart.
Very Braveheart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're gonna lead, be the first one. Don't let them all run and then you stay back, you know.
Although there's two ways to think about that, because not to get on too far of a side, it's funny you mentioned Braveheart, dude. So, but what did the king say on the other side? It's like you always put the pawns out first,
right?
And then the knights go out. Right. It's like, but that's more strategy. It's we don't waste good arrows.
Arrows cost money. Use up the Irish. The dead cost nothing. And send in the infantry and cavalry.
Infantry!
Let the Irish go.
Right, exactly. So there's two ways of thinking about that.
Right. See, Hong gets his moments.
Yeah.
There we go. Knife boy. I just love watching him fight, man. Look at that.
No, he's badass.
Reminds me of my friend Keith. Yeah, look at him.
All right, so I'm gonna fast forward a little bit because we could watch this all night, and you know it, and I know it, guys. But I want to. We really could, and I could sit here and watch it with you guys all night. Here's a point. Poor Lee, and we were talking about this. The poor guy really can't fight very well. So
season 2 is his worst season. He just gets more disillusioned, and he's just like, he's done with the police after this point.
Here he actually kills the guy. He shoots him.
Yeah, he does get him, but he takes a lot of beating. Takes a lot of beating before he's able to.
He empties on him.
And he's got to kill him.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. The poor Lee takes a lot of beating before he gets his own comeuppance. I want to
hear his headaches, the ringing in his head.
Yeah.
But this part where they back each other up.
Great choreo where they fight basically over him, jumps over him right there. Boom. He knew it was coming too.
Yep.
My turn. Boom. I love that, man. They awesome. Did more of that. But that was all we got of that.
Damn it, you're self-righteous. Yeah, so anyway, that all happens, and some of the best parts after this, which is not on this piece or I would play it.
You just say it. Is Sahm basically
whips out the nunchucks.
He literally becomes Bruce Lee and whips out the nunchucks, takes off his top. He's got the wife beater on, and he puts in that work.
And right? He does.
And he does. And Keanu Reeves, if you're watching, that's how it was supposed to look. Just in case you was wondering, John Wick 4, bro. Your chucking was terrible.
Oh man, poor Keanu. But you know what? Keanu made up for it in all the other gun food that he does. But yeah, the nunchucks is not a thing.
Gotta call a duck though, man. The chucking left a lot to be desired. That's all. But
they should have had a stunt guy do the chucking.
I appreciated that you wanted to pay homage though, but. I think it would have been cool if you would have did it for like 60 seconds. Go back and watch that scene. It's about 7 minutes,
drags.
bro.
Yeah,
it's like
it
7 minutes of you with
it
the
goes
slow
a long
cuts, bro.
time.
I was like, nah.
The only slight defense I'll give it compared to this is that scene, that was with a John Wick who was like 5 years out of retirement. While meanwhile you've got Assam here in his prime.
Yeah, yeah. But I think even if Assam wasn't in his prime, his chucking would have been better than that.
Oh
Just
yeah,
because,
for sure.
You know, and the nunchucks more native to
the fight
you know,
isn't the fight scene is absolutely incredible. It's about 12 minutes of just martial goodness. But what's significant that comes out of this is that there are some people who are up in a balcony watching him put on this show, and so they create this giant mural of Assam, with one of the nunchucks on a very Bruce Lee looking, and it's just like this with the hand up and the chuck underneath the arm, and it looks very dope. And
That's
I think
amazing.
it becomes a point of contention for Young Jun.
Oh, absolutely.
By him instead of Young Jun.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So as that all wraps up and, you know, the riot happens and finally, you know, the dust settles from all this. Yeah, absolutely. After that, the mural goes up, but the resolution is
The mayor's wife goes to a mental institution.
Yeah, but even before that happens, even a bigger thing that happens in the show is that Atoi, Mai Ling meets up with Young Jun. And because now they're talking about, okay, you know, what's going to happen now? We had an agreement before, blah, 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 blah. And basically Young Jun's like, hey, now, you know, it's my show. The old man's not in charge anymore. And Mai Ling feels like she's losing ground and she finally outs Assam, who finally basically says, oh, yeah, I didn't think I'd be battling my brother. And Young Jun's like, I'm not your fucking brother. She's like, no, I didn't. Oh, she's like, oh, you didn't tell him? And she looks at Assam and Assam's like,
I just don't want to be at war with my own brother anymore.
What? What brother?
That was petty. That was masterful. It was
just a master play.
Yeah,
and
well played.
Sahm gets outed as Mai Ling's brother, and of course Young Jun loses his shit, and he's like, "Dude, seriously?" And I think there's a funny line, and it's like, "She's your sister." It's like, and he's like, "Well, it's not like we were close." It's like, dude. So. After that, I say that to say all that happens, and finally, like Young Jun's like, all right, get out, I need to think. So as Assam leaves and he's going out to, you know, kind of cool down or chill out, he walks into the bar with Leary, because now it's like, all right, well, I've done everything else. We already got the Irish out of town. We did all that, and I only got one other battle really to fight. Yeah, and that's with Leary, who's just been, you know, this guy pain in my side. And so he goes in the bar, he whoops up some of the dudes that have just kind of sitting there and chilling, and he waits for Leary to come out, and they talk. And I think this is one of the big dialogue moments that I think is
what happened.
Really poignant.
No one wants to see another fucking Irishman in Chinatown.
You say that like you've got any kind of goddamn right to be in this country.
And where were you born, Mr. Leary?
That's not the fucking point.
So what is the point?
The point is, my people bled for this country. Your people are bleeding it dry, like fucking pestilence.
Your people came here for the same reason we did. The cupboards were bare. People needed to feed their children. Do you have any children, Leary?
And so what happens now? I'm going to finish my drink, and then I'm going to kick your ass.
Then I'm going to kick your ass.
It's fantastic.
Are you going to talk? Or are we going to fight?
It's an amazing
another one
fight.
of my favorite fights between a non-martial artist and a martial artist, and it's fantastic.
This one I'm going to say is my favorite fight. I can clearly tell you guys, of all the fights, this is my favorite.
Wow.
Because they built this up so well from even season 1 to finally getting to the end of season 2. And again, I came off, came up to the season, we're watching week by week and they're teasing it. So as you're getting to it, you see flashes of the fight, so you know it's coming, and you finally get that preview for the season, episode 10. So I'm all in, right? I watched this fight with that holy crap look and still love it to this day, right, dude? I love this fight, and this is what it comes down to. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this because I did a little commentary with Brett Chan. So hopefully this comes up and plays right real quick, and if it doesn't, we'll watch it a different way here. Okay, and it's called episode 10 is Man on the Wall, and that basically it's because of that mural that Ant's talking about that the people put up. So Man on the Wall is literally symbolic of Assam's character at this point. So this is Assam after he says what Ant says, I think I'm going to have this drink and go kick your ass. So they go to the back of the bar and they have... And it's just the setup. Everyone was waiting for this. We knew it was coming, and it was teased so much. And you see the different styles. And to your point, Dean's so much stockier. But at this time, Assam's really been just immersed in his training, and he's fighting completely different than he did in season 1.
And Dean was meant to be like a freight train. Yeah. Just coming through, right? And it's like...
Yeah, and the shit talking. Are you gonna fight? See, that's my line there. Are we gonna dance? Or are you gonna fight? and like Brett Chan was saying here, was like Dean's character is meant to be a freight train. He's a brawler. Yeah, you're gonna dance, you're gonna fight. He's like, what's with all this kick shit?
I'm still kicking. I must be on Broadway.
Come on with it, right? How long did this scene take to film?
I love that.
We had 2 nights.
3 nights. Okay.
2 nights.
2. Only 2
nights. Okay. But halfway through the first night, Koji got sick.
Oh no. Okay. So he said Andrew Koji got sick when they were filming this. Yeah. So that was cool. And they filmed it in 2 nights. So and they said he said it was very cold when they filmed the fight. He was fighting sick.
So he was fighting sick, and this was like it was freezing cold outside of the club. It was like 5 degrees or 6 degrees. It was really cold.
Wow.
And it was nice, and we were basically block shooting, so we were still kind of shooting the riot scene. We were shooting the riots all daytime. We're coming here to shoot this at nighttime.
Wow. Okay. That's a big testament, man. The dedication. And real quick, I just want to say that, and I told Brett Chan this, I love the way the fight goes back and forth. Someone's winning, someone's losing, then someone wins that round, then they come back and lose. And then Assam is like, you think he gets bested, but then he's got to come up and step up. So I told him I love that. And then he said, yeah, because every fight should tell the story. And I just, that's another reason why I think this is one of the best fights they did in the show.
It is.
This fight was so good. And then you switch. It's like one guy will have the upper hand, and the next round, another guy has the upper hand. And then it's just like they're pumping each other up. Dude, I love this fight, man. I'm
glad you see the idiosyncrasies of the time changing. I mean, I'm glad. I'm hoping that when I'm telling the story that people are seeing that.
Yeah, it's like, because this is really like just at the end of this season, it's like the culmination of like Assam's whole evolution, right? And he's finally been able to take this guy on like he couldn't have really done it in season 1. And you're rooting. It's funny because Leary's technically the bad guy, but you're rooting for both because you're like, they both got their own storylines and reason why they're so passionate, right? Because Leary's fighting for his people, Assam's fighting for his people. Yeah. So. And I just love this part because at this point, there's like no more fancy stuff. They're just punching. They're just going at it. Sorry. That's the part where they're just brawling. They're just going at it. The energy level is, dwindling, and they're just, like whoever made the best man win at that point. Where Sahm like kind of grounds himself. He's like, all right, there's this last part. And then and that's when I was like, oh shit, is he going to lose? I was like, all right. But even if he did, I would have been like, okay, I'm okay with it because even seeing this process.
It is Leary. Yeah.
It's Leary. Leary's a badass. Was there a lot of doubling for this fight, or was it just
no, man?
Okay,
mostly them.
Okay,
yeah. The big double kick was a double.
Okay,
but no, it was pretty much mostly all them.
Now, before this scene starts, as we wrap up the fight, this goes back to Danny's point earlier, how now Assam has adapted this whole part that he's, like portion of his fighting, the way Leong does. He grounds himself and gets back, like in tune with his breathing. He does that. He centers himself, and he very much is focused. And so I love that part where Assam like kind of grounds himself. He's like, all right, there's this last part, and then he starts getting more technical, and he like broke his wrist and everything, and then he just really focuses at that point. I love it. And like you're saying, this is like him, the peppering, like this is back to like almost his old style, but like, meshing the two, and then the big old knee to the face is just, And then when you think, okay, this is the end, Leary's got to be like, nah, he still gets up because he's a G like that. He still got to get up and
G, man. You can't stay down.
You can't stay down forever, and he's got to, like, his people are dependent on him.
Yeah. All his people are there.
And you come with the big finale. But I love this sequence here. There's the final sequence when, this is like Assam really like the payoff, right? Because
right here.
Yeah, but that was the big payoff shot. He hits him in the heart, and that's
what they did in that section right there is when he starts to crack his knuckles, like his hand's already in bad shape, but he just basically looks like he cracks his knuckles to make it into a fist.
Squeeze it into a fist.
Immediately, if you go back, you immediately hear them go showing his heartbeat, and then he does his move. Assam does his counter, and then Assam hits him strikes him in the chest.
Right
and
in the chest.
Hear,
and it stops.
You're like, holy crap! He stopped his heart.
Yeah,
and then
which
the heart
carries over into season 3. It has like a heart murmur after that.
Right,
but it's incredible.
Season 3, when you watch what happens when he fights the brothers.
Yes, it's, and then the big shot here because it's just like, wow.
This is the only time it was doubled.
I figured this was a double, but it still looks so good, and it's a great finale. That big old kick is just like, okay, yeah. So that's fight, and afterwards, like Assam famously says, "Stay out of Chinatown, or I'll come back with a fucking army." So, yeah, that's how season 2 ends pretty much. And, Assam walks out the hero and all. I love this season. I know like you probably like season 1 a little bit more, but season 2 to me is that natural feel of evolution for Assam. So coming out, there was a lot that was paid off for me. So especially the Leary fight, because all through the season, the antagonism was there between the two. Before the factory blew up, Leary has to talk with Assam, and it's always about, the Irish. He feels like one step above the Chinese, all kind of forgetting that the Irish, to your point, Ann, came here as immigrants as well. So Assam, and they circle back on that conversation in the bar. I think that's a great conversation to rewatch too, and people should. Where Assam's like, hey, what about you? You came out here, cupboards were bare. He's like, and people had to do what they had to do. It's like, you're forgetting that the Irish, kind of started the same way the Chinese did. And, because the Leary's at that point, he's like, I fought for my country. It's like, well, listen, it's like, you're not special.
Right.
But that
he could have gone on for hours, but then Leary was like, are we going to talk or are we going to fight?
Right. Yeah. We're going to talk or we're going to fight. Right. So, yeah. Any closing thoughts on season 2 as we roll to season 3, guys?
Again, the way that I feel about this show, although as a whole, as a collective, I love the show. But for me, it's season 1, season 2, and then season 3.
Season 3. Okay,
yeah.
That's fair. I'd probably be opposite on that. I'd be like season 2, season 1, then 3.
Okay.
But how you feeling on it?
I felt season 2 was really good. Don't get me wrong. Season 2 was really good. I think, again, I like storytellers. So season 1 set up everything beautifully. Laid the groundwork, laid the rules, even established a language, right? Onions, sticky, all that good stuff, right? And then it laid the groundwork. And then expanded on it, right? The second one expanded on it, but it had a lot of great moments. Right. The dragon, the fight with Leary. These are moments, right? And then 3, I think and we're about to talk about it now. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to have a whole lot to say about 3. I'll say a few things here and there, but to me, 3, I don't believe that 3 was meant to be the ending of the show.
No, it wasn't. Clearly, it wasn't.
The way the show ends is like,
yeah, we can spoil that right now because it ended on a cliffhanger. A lot of things were left on the cliffhanger, and they was meant to have a season 3.
Yeah, season 4.
Sorry, they were meant to have a season 4. It just didn't happen. And as we wrap it up, I'll tell you the audience because people are always looking for that information why there wasn't a season 4. And from all the insider stuff that I got.
Yeah, it'll be news to me. Let me know too.
Yeah, for sure. But go ahead, Danny. I want to get your thoughts on season 2 before we go to season 3.
I think my order is different from both of you. Mine would actually be 3, 2, 1.
Interesting.
Particularly because of where the characters end. I mean, I know we could have gotten a season 4, but in terms of the character development, Sahm really comes full circle because he ends the story, at least the story that we were given, doing what he set out to do, getting back to his sister and protecting her the only way he knows how.
Right.
Atoi,
I hate her so much. Oh my god.
If you deserve him, no.
I hate Mai Ling. My god.
Really? You hate her?
Xiao Jing or Mai Ling, whichever you prefer, does not deserve Assam as a brother. But forgetting what she thinks and what she's done, which we'll get into later, Assam finally does what he sets out to do. And so for that, I feel like his character development really comes full circle. So that's cool for him. Atoi, I like how they develop over the seasons like that we get, that she really doesn't want to be doing what she's doing. She's only doing what she's doing to get ahead and to survive. But you see as the seasons progress that she wants a better life, not just for herself, but also for the girls that she's taking in. So I like the development that she gets. Lee and Bill are in much better places than they were in the first and second seasons. So that's cool.
Yes. Wait, I thought we were wrapping up season 2. You're doing like a full show.
I'm explaining my reason for why.
Why it's 3, 2, 1 for him.
But yeah, but overall 2 was pretty cool. It was pretty solid. I liked it a lot.
But speaking of weapons, and that's part of Warrior, you came in with no formal martial arts training, but you had to learn everything on scene, even like or on set, even the sword play and stuff. Or how did that go down?
So that's how amazing Brett and his team are, because I came onto Warrior like not having any formal martial arts training. I had done a little bit for myself, but South Africa's not the place to be learning martial arts. You know, we don't have very good schools here. Wow. And so Brett had his team work on me every single day for like 6 hours a day. I was in the gym just training sword, and I have a video actually of me right at the beginning, and it hurts my heart to watch it, but at the same time it makes me so proud, because I'm like, I came from that to where I am now, where I actually sword is one of my strong suits. So
okay. I see someone has tortured the sword.
Yeah, it's become the weapon of choice now when I fight. So yeah, he has a team, and he has Yao. Tong Yao is one of the sword specialists, who's actually Olivia's stunt double.
Okay.
And she was the one that just kind of drove me every single day, and that's how I learned most of my martial arts, was through Brett and his team.
Yeah, man. Season 2, what it do? Guys, it's been fun. So, as we're wrapping things up, last week, for you guys that don't know, we talked about season 1 with my guy, OG and his son, Danny. And thanks again for being on the show. It was a lot of fun. Next week, guys,
I love that theme music, by the way. Shout out to RZA. We haven't even talked about the soundtrack for this show. It's amazing. So much is amazing about the show. Besides the fighting, besides the story, besides the character art. Yeah. Just gotta let that ride a little bit. Yeah, I love the music. I always loved hearing that theme music. When I first started watching this show, every episode was like an event, you know, because I had to, most of you guys, well, I shouldn't say most, I don't know. You can tell me in the chat how you guys used to watch the show. But when the show first came out in 2019, I watched it from the get-go. I got hip to it because I had Cinemax. I was a fan of Jonathan Tropper. He did shows like Banshee, so I knew this new show was coming out. I was ready for it. They had promos on TV, so I was all in, and we watched it weekly, every week. Saw the previews for the next week, and I was ready. So season 2, there's a little bit of a gap, but not much. It was like a year plus, and then it was 2020. We got to season 2, and man, to this day, and it's cool to see people's rankings. My ranking, again, if you didn't catch it, for all 3 seasons of Warrior is season 2, season 1, and then season 3. Okay. You let me know in the chat what your favorite season, or what your what your sequence of seasons are, what your favorite, from your most favorite to least favorite in the show are. As you heard, OG and he likes 1, 2, and 3 in sequence, and I get it. 1 is the establishing season, I get it. But 2, also the production level went up a little bit higher, and the fight choreography was a little bit better in season 2. Season 3, I kind of felt like they didn't match that same intensity as season 2. And a lot of it probably had to do with the fact that casting changed a little bit. So you had some of the stunt people on the team not available. So, and in the time, because there was a big gap between, like a 2+ year gap between season 2 and season 3. If you didn't know, when we watched it live on TV, 2 seasons on Cinemax, and then we went 1 season on HBO Max, which is now just Max. So that's how that went down. But neither here nor there. You guys let me know in the chat what your favorite seasons were and why, what your favorite fights were and why. Hopefully you have a good time, wrapping the seasons up with us, this little retrospective. Next week, final week, we're going to do season 3. Okay, guys. So we broke this up because I felt like we wanted to do this show justice. When I had this idea, I hit up OG Ant from Lone Wolf and Cub. And by the way, if you have not checked out their channel, you guys should. These guys are amazing. Their channel is dope. They do, oh man, so much stuff with old school kung fu. Just, the stuff is amazing. So I really love their channel. I'm trying to show the channel here. I don't see it. Anyway, okay. We can go on I'll leave the link below for their channel, but it's Lone Wolf and Cub Kung Fu. They do a lot of basically just like they talk a lot about old school kung fu movies, all that Shaw Brothers, Golden Harvest, those kind of movies. They do profiles on different old school martial artists. But man, their catalog is huge. So when you get a chance, go ahead and hit them up. Check them out. They've done a lot of amazing videos. In fact, I said this last week, but I'll say it again. It bears repeating. When I want information on old school, especially old school, and I'm talking like, Peter Kwok, Gordon Liu, those old school martial artists. When I want information on those guys, go to Lone Wolf and Cub Kung Fu, and you'll probably find that information there if they haven't already done a video on that person that you're looking for, which is great. So kind of like a little cheat code. If you're like, let's say you're a person who may be dating someone who's into Kung Fu movies, but you don't know a lot, you want to cheat a little bit, go to Lone Wolf and Cub Kung Fu and check out their videos on, like all of the Kung Fu movies, old school Kung Fu movies, and you'll get up to speed pretty quick. There you go. Anyway, yeah, guys. So next week we're gonna do this again. We're gonna wrap this up with season 3. Let me know in the chat if you guys are liking this. If you know, I think this is a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with this, guys. And thank you so much for keeping the chat live, man.
Chat. They chatting. They chat.
Yeah, you guys chatted a lot. In fact, let me give love tonight to some people that came in from beginning to end. My man OG Ant from Lone Wolf and Cub. See you guys. Bernard Green, my man, checking in. Appreciate you. Do something diff. Do something diff. Do something diff. Yes, do something diff. DOSOMDIFF. I see you, my brother. Appreciate you checking in. That was dope of you. But yeah, tomorrow next week we do this same time, same channel right here, 7 o'clock again. We will wrap this up with season 3 of Warrior. So yes, do come back and we'll do that. We'll have a little chat afterwards, and maybe I'll throw my guys on and we'll talk a little more as we wrap up the season, and we'll talk to you guys in the chat and try to make it a bigger deal. I know this weekend, it's Labor Day weekend. It just is what it is. I wanted to keep things consistent and not skip a week. So yeah, I get it. People are out and about. Don't have as many people in the chat as we did last week, and it's fine because it's Labor Day weekend. But if you're not watching this live and you're watching it on repeat, you still have the recap for you. And next week, hopefully you can join us live if you didn't already. Let me know too if 7 is a good time. I'm going to just keep it consistent just for the sake of this series, but following up, doing more lives, and I'm thinking about that. I've got a lot of new subscribers. So if you're a new subscriber and you happen to go ahead and check out this video and want to chime in on what times are good for you when we do go live, if you like this, because I really do like the benefits of live, being able to kind of reach out and touch people and kind of speak to you guys, you know, at the same time while they do the video versus recorded stuff where we chat in the comments. Okay. So let me know. I don't do as many live streams as some channels, but I do like to get in here and talk to the community, because you guys, without you, there would be no me. So I know it's cliche, but it bears repeating. All right, guys, I'm not going to keep you up too much longer. I hope you guys enjoyed this season 2 retrospective Warrior. Once again, thank you to my guys, OG Ant and Danny, aka Lone Wolf and Cub, for being part of this video. Give them some love. Give yourself some love for being in the chat. Love y'all. We will talk to you next week. Look out this week, though, for part 2 of my Tim Larkin video. The same guy that brought you the book, When Violence is the Answer. We're doing part 2, drop a part 2 of that video. Look out for it this weekend with my guy, Sifu Gus from The Village. You guys know him and love him. And then in the next week plus, you guys are going to see a very special interview. Speaking of Warrior Season 3, Mark Dacascos has blessed us with his presence. And yes, that interview is coming here to the channel. I'm so happy to say that, because yeah, this one's been a little while in the making, but I'm really, really excited for this interview. So you guys let me know too in the comments who you guys would like to see next. Always taking suggestions as we try to help things grow here on the channel, right? And yeah, it's cliche, but of course, please like, subscribe.
Don't just stand there, like and subscribe.
It really helps things out. Costs you guys nothing. Also, hit the notifications, the little bell on that down below. That gives you guys the one up on when I drop new videos and stuff, so you don't have to search. That automatically will come up with a notification when new videos and lives come up, so more and more people can join us. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Stay safe. See you on the next round, and of course, keep punching.